All right, everyone, welcome in. It's August 2024. It's pretty crazy to say that it's August already. Over halfway through the year at this point, back with another Behind the Beat. And it is the second single from my upcoming album called Unknown Advantage, instrumental album, first full length body of work. And this single is called More Than This. I want to say this was probably one of the first beats I made for this project. Had made it on the old laptop, so probably made it in 2021 or maybe 2022, somewhere in there. But this one evokes a lot of emotion, and I thought it would be cool to put it out separate from the project so that people could kind of get a dose of what to expect. Now, obviously, last month was putting out Horizon, which I put out in June, but I did the Behind the Beat last month. And Horizon's like a more hopeful, um, like summertime vibe type of joint. You know what I mean? And I wanted to lead off with that, but I wanted to show the different types of feelings that I put into the project. So I think More Than This is more representative of the melancholy type of vibe, like a super somber, emotional type of energy. So I think this one like serves its purpose pretty well. When you hear it on the project, it falls toward the middle. And you'll hear there's I'm putting out one more single next month as well. So I kind of gave you a dose of what the beginning sounds like, the middle and the end of the project, and kind of like what sequencing will be. So for some reason, I always thought that a lot of my favorite albums, when it comes to sequencing, they kind of tell that narrative where they start off pretty triumphant and pretty high. Then they'll dip into the more serious side of things, and then they'll finish it off strong. And that's really what I wanted to go for on this whole body of work. So, More Than This really just represents that middle part of the project where we're getting into the real nitty gritty of, what it's all about. So let's break this one down. There's actually no effects on this whole beat from what I remember, besides a reverb and EQ. So there's no low pass filters, there's nothing coming in and out. It's just a basic song structure, and it's 4 tracks total that make up this full beat. So the main element that you hear throughout are the keys, and I remember that when I made it, it was on the plugin FL Keys, which I don't have on this version of FL Studio anymore. I don't know why. I don't know if I have to go in and reinstall it or if it's just not on FL20 and up. But on FL12, I had FL Keys, and I think I just went in one day and wanted to make like a new arrangement because I was kind of tired of just using loops all the time. So I wanted to do some type of stacked arrangement. And basically, what I did was I made pretty much an 8 bar part of one set of keys that's kind of doubled up, and then I only used one part for the other set. So I'll play you what that sounds like by itself. And it's just that repeated, and it's using a lot of the black keys, which obviously are the more emotional set of keys. So that right there builds the base for the whole thing. Like I said, I was just messing around with different melodies and different arrangements to see what I could make. I thought that sounded pretty cool. So that's definitely where I started it off at. Next would have definitely been the drums. These are kind of out of order, like how I put them in this session, because I wanted to bring them over here and do the final mastered version in FL20 when I ended up doing the finals for this. But the next element would have definitely been the drums. This whole album in general is a lot more slow compared to some of the other stuff I've done because that's just the type of energy I wanted to go for on the whole project. So these drums, they're more boom bap, but I think I just slowed them down. If you were to speed these up, you could fit them into like a 90s style beat as well. But I just wanted to slow them down to kind of give it that vibe as well. So here are those by themselves. They really have the elements of like a New York style hip hop joint because it has like the open hi hat, that nice little punchy kick, and just more live percussion elements in there. So the drums are pretty simple. The next part that you hear is, well, I'll play the part from the chorus, which is the guitars that built up. Not sure where I got these guitars at. Basically, what I did is when it hits the first chorus, I kind of just tease them for a bit, and then I bring them in for the pretty much the whole second half of the song, as you can see right here. So let's hear those. That might have been a loop from somewhere that I just rearranged and kind of pitched it to match where the keys were. It's kind of weird because a lot of the times I feel like when I try to clash guitar and keys together, it doesn't really work very well because the frequencies are not agreeing with one another. This one, though, it felt like it complemented it very well. And this guitar doesn't have a lot of bass to it. Usually, the bass tones of a guitar will mess with the bass tones of keys, and there were more bass tone in the keys for this. So I found a guitar that had a lot less bass to it, and it just ended up clashing very well, and not even really even clashing, just like working in unison very well with the keys. So I'll play those. Let's you know what? Before we go to the last element, let's just play those together, and you'll hear what I mean. Like I just felt like those were the perfect fit for one another. And that's usually kind of what you're going for. You simplify everything, but you find elements that have enough to carry the song that they work well together in unison. So let's go to these pads, which is the last element, and those come in during the pre-chorus and the chorus, and then they're pretty much throughout the remainder of the song, minus a couple bits in the outro and in the middle here. So let's hear those by themselves. So I always have a couple of sounds in the plugin called Pigments, which I use a lot. I probably referenced it in other videos that I've done. Um, and that was definitely one of them. I forget what the name of that one is, and I don't have the plugin pulled up to show you, but that was definitely from Pigments, which I highly recommend. It's got a ton of different sounds. People talk about Omnisphere all the time as having a lot of sounds. I compare Pigments as like a very toned down, simplified version um, of Omnisphere, where you don't have to worry about your computer hating you. Pretty much, like you can load it up a lot easier, and they always update the sounds as well. So I try to use them for a lot of the different like background elements or the more cinematic stuff that I try to add into these other songs that I do, and so that just fit perfectly. So I'll take it. We'll play the full thing. I'll take it to kind of the end when everything is coming in all at once. So let's hear what it sounds like. And then I want you to hear the outro where everything kind of drops off too. So let me just get to that part. So I lied. There might have been a little low pass filter on that outro with the keys. I just now heard it again. But that's it. Other than that, there's no effects on this whole beat. I pretty much just let it do its thing. And it was just cool to find these elements that all worked very well together. And like I said, I think it just complements, the type of story that the project tells. And I think you'll hear that, when you hear the full body of work. But for now, I hope you enjoy this one second single from Unknown Advantage called More Than This. and it's streaming now. I'll have the link in the bio. I also wanted to let you guys know about Unknown Advantage as well, because now is the time where you can sign up to get early access to the project. I think I've mentioned this on other videos, not really sure if I went in depth, but the time is now. As of August 1st, with the platform called Even, I launched the waitlist. So you can basically go to the launch site, type in your email, and you'll get alerted when the album comes out, which is officially dropping on Even on September 1st. And what that'll allow you to do is get early access to the music, so you can hear the album before anybody else does, about a month before anybody else does, actually. And you'll also get access to the vinyl pre-order that we're doing through Digger's Factory, which I'm excited about. So you'll kind of get the choice of, like, you could pay a few bucks just to hear the music, or you could pay $10 to hear the music and you get access to the vinyl pre-order. Those are pretty much the two options that I put in for this one. Um, but if you sign up for that waitlist now, you'll get notified first and foremost before anybody else does. So you'll be, the first person in there to have grabs on that. And the vinyl is limited to 100 pressings. So, if you want to do the vinyl, you're going to want to be one of the first people in there to have access to that. So I'm going to put the link for that as well in the description. And I'll be talking a lot about that on social media coming up. By the time this video is out, I might have already posted something about it. So be on the lookout for the links and all that stuff there. But the link specifically to join the waitlist and for the launch page will be in this video. I'm just excited about this whole project, and I'm just going to keep doing breakdowns probably for Unknown Advantage for a while, because I like talking about this album. I think it's a great one, and I'm excited to release it. Trying to think of what else is coming up. Obviously, the normal links, everything else will be in the bio. But yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying your summer out there, and I hope you guys enjoyed this one as well. And we'll be back next month. I'll probably do the next single from Unknown Advantage, which is the last single that I'm putting out from it, which you'll find out what that is next month. But until then, I appreciate you guys, as always, for watching. See you next time.